going on, everybody? Tonight marked the night for one of my favorite shows starting back up, and it's on its 9th season. If you don't already know, I've kind of talked about it in videos here and there, talking about I was going to review this, and this was going to be my next TV review series, and that is The Walking Dead. Now, we are finally on season 9. The war is over with Negan and the Saviors. This, I want to say, jumps a year and a half, and just like the comics, it did jump a year. It did jump in time. And this is episode 1. I have loved this show. I started watching this when it was on season 3. I think I watched the premiere of season 3, and then I went back on Netflix and watched seasons 1 and 2, and then watched 3 on. And I've been watching this weekly since season 3. I love it, man. Not every episode is great, but just the story, the characters, all of it has just been leading up to where they are now, and it is phenomenal. I don't know. I know a lot of people hate this show, and a lot of fans have left it after like season 7, season 8, because they didn't really like Negan. But Negan is fantastic in my opinion. The only problem is I wish we would get the Negan that is in the comics, and sadly they dial it back with language and kind of how he is. But still, great. But yeah, let's just dive right into this review. So if you don't know, this show stars Andrew Lincoln, Norman Reedus, Lauren Cohan, Melissa McBride, and so many other phenomenal actors and actresses. And I know I say that about every show, but this show, every actor and actress does their part well, and I love it. This episode was directed by Greg Nicotero, who has been a part of this show from the very beginning with the makeup, and the effects, but throughout the seasons, he has become a really big director in this show, and I love every episode that he's directed. I love his directing style. So yeah, I was glad that he was directing the first episode in season 9. And I'm just going to explain kind of what goes on in the show in this episode. It starts off with the group kind of, everyone passing each other on the road and kind of just talking about where they are and how things have changed, and have they changed for the better or for the worse. And then they all meet up at Rally Point, and they go into this museum on a run, because they are getting a buggy for horses, a horse-drawn buggy that is old time. They're getting a plow for fields, because the sanctuary, they're not having luck on growing crops, so they are trying everything that they can. They also get a bunch of old seeds from prehistoric time. So they're looking at the past and trying to figure out if there's a way that they can grow stuff at the sanctuary, and trying to look for the past so they can build the future. That's what Rick says. And yeah, it's great. It's a great opening. It's a really intense scene with them getting the buggy and everything down the stairs, and there's like this glass full of walkers underneath in the floor. So that's really... It was a fantastic scene, well done. Not many scenes now kind of have you on the edge of your seat, but I knew nothing bad, anyone was going to die, but still, it was the fact of just the tension of whether or not the glass was going to break. That was what the big tension was. So, and plus, if any other small character was on, yeah, you think they might die, but plus, if Rick had fallen down there, he would have fucking killed all of them, so it doesn't really matter with his character, because, And, if you are a fan of the show, you know that this is supposedly Andrew Lincoln's, last season and stuff like that, and so they're probably going to be wrapping up Rick's story. I personally am curious on how they're going to wrap it up, if they wrap it up. I think that this might just be a ploy, as marketing wise, and getting fans back. Maybe he's not leaving the show, because how it all came about, if I'm not mistaken, is some fans didn't see him on set as much, so they're like, oh my god, where's Rick, where's Andy, stuff like that. So I'm guessing that they kind of came out and they said, oh well, Andrew's leaving the show, so we're going to be wrapping up Rick's storyline. So the fans kind of gave them a way to make it into a marketing ploy if they wanted to go down that route. So, who knows? I personally think that's a possibility and a likely one, because Rick is a vital part of this show. So, I mean, hell, he's the main character. Out of all the characters, he's the main character, and we've been following him since season 1, so I don't think he's going anywhere. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. But if he is, I am curious on where they're going to go. You know, everything has changed. You can tell that a lot of people are still having tensions. The Saviors, some of them are really glad that Rick saved them, but yet at the same time, they talked about how they were having problems with some of them, you know, still thinking that they're Negan and that Negan is better than Rick and that everything was going great until then, until Rick showed up. Then you can tell the tension because Rick kept Negan alive, so Daryl won't go to Alexandria. Neither will Maggie. So you can already tell that there's still tension between them all and the fact that Rick kept Negan alive, which I don't think that they will ever understand why he did it. I personally get why he did. For one, it helps him not become, you know, Carl saw the resemblances as, you know, if you kill him, you're no different than Negan. And Rick is really no different than Negan anyways. He just doesn't kill people on sight. That's really it. You know, they have a lot of the same qualities, good and bad, so they're not that different. Rick's just made out to be the bad guy, but say if any other group if we were following any other group and they ran into Rick and Rick did some of the stuff that he's done in the past, we would think Rick was the bad guy. So it's all that, you know, similarities and how different are they and whatnot. So I really like that aspect of it, and I think that Carl saw that. So, and Rick kind of sees it. I don't think he wants to, but that's part of the reason why he kept him alive. Also, he can use it as a way this is what happens when, if you don't like the way we're doing things. If you want to rise up and stuff like that. Kind of like how Negan was going to do to Rick and them. Put them on the fence and stuff at Sanctuary as walkers and stuff. So it's kind of like that as like a power play, as either you fall in line or whatnot. I honestly believe that. So yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff is going. This is kind of like a different tone for the show. It really is. But I loved it. I loved this episode from the beginning to the end. I finally like the fact that Maggie did something about Gregory's bullshit, and I'm not gonna say what she did and how it went down, because I'm not gonna get that spoiler in, because even though I have been talking about spoilers, I'm not gonna get that spoilery, but I loved every minute of it, and it's just almost just like the comics. But yeah, I am really looking forward to this season. I'm really looking forward to where they're going to take it, how they're going to kill Rick. If they are going to kill Rick and this isn't a ploy by the marketing people, I think Daryl might be the one to kill him. And I know what you're saying. Daryl would never kill Rick because they're buddies. Well, they kind of been at tensions lately. Even during the war, they were at tensions. And I honestly think that if Daryl does kill Rick, it would be a good character development point for Daryl's character, and it would help build his character even more than he has been. So if they do it right, they could help build Daryl, and maybe he would regret it, and maybe he'd want to become a leader, and then Daryl would become the main character of the show. There's possibilities with that. I personally would be okay with it. I'd also be okay with, Negan getting out and killing Rick. I'd be okay with Rick getting an illness and just dying of it. Say he got cancer or some shit. I'd be okay with that. That would give everyone time to, see him on his deathbed and help mourn, and he'd be able to set everything up and, talk to them knowing that he was going to die, kind of like how Carl did. As long as he doesn't go out by a walker, because that was my biggest problem with Carl's death in Season 8. I hated that they took him out by a walker. If he was going to go out, let Negan kill him. That would have been the perfect way, because then you'd have Rick and all these other people. Then Rick would have never kept Negan alive, and Negan needs to be alive for the story, because I honestly believe that's the only reason they killed Carl off, is because Carl talking how he did about how the future and you don't need to kill people, we need a life with these people afterwards, all of that. That's the only reason Negan is alive, in all honesty, and it was the only way. Carl's death was the only way that Rick would ever have mercy and not vengeance on Negan and I hate that they had to do it, but that's why it came to be and how Carl died, in all honesty. So, yeah, I am curious because they are so kind of off the comics, especially if Rick is going out the show and Carl's not there to take up Rick's mantle like he does in the comics. Yeah, I'm really curious on where they're going to take the show, how everything's going to play out. Hopefully, it plays out really well. I have faith in the showrunners and the writers and stuff like that. And yeah, because they have a plan. They've had a plan for a long little while, so let's just ride it out. But so far, this season is phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they take it, because there's so many possibilities, and there's a lot of unknown to people who know somewhat of the comics and somewhat of what's to come. Like the Whispers is supposed to be coming, because the guy that plays Opie from Sons, he's supposed to play, I want to say, the leader of the Whispers, or someone high up in the Whispers rankings. So, yeah, I'm very curious on seeing where this season goes. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are, going to be looking forward to my reviews in this series that I'm doing. Also, check out all my other ones. But, yeah, I hope that you guys are enjoying these. I know I am. I'm really looking forward to reviewing all these for you because, like I said, this is one of my favorite shows of all time. And, yeah, I'm going to give Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 1 a 5 out of 5 stars. So comment down below and let me know if you agree with all my opinions, if you like this review, if you didn't, if you have any suggestions on how I can improve it, just let me know down in the comments. Also, how do you think they're going to kill Rick? Do you think he's going to die? Do you think he's just going to go away? What's going to happen? Also, Lauren Cohan's supposedly leaving the show also, so how do you think they're going to play out Maggie's storyline? Is she going to leave? Or are they going to kill her off? Who knows? There's a lot of unknowns with this right now. But I personally am enjoying and trying to speculate on how they're going to do things. So let's talk about all that down in the comments. And yeah, if you have any other TV shows you'd like me to watch and review, any other upcoming seasons or whatnot, let me know down in the comments. I'll definitely check them out. Also, check out my Deuce season review, the Mayans MC reviews that I do. That's on Sunday nights for the Deuce also, and mine's is on Tuesday. Also, I have review series up for Westworld Season 2 and Sharp Objects. Really great reviews. I'm really enjoying bringing you reviews for TV shows. And I hope you guys are too. And yeah, in the description I have links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages. You can click on over there for updates on my personal life, things I might be working on, things I might not be doing, ideas I might have that I might want y'all to comment on. Let me know what y'all opinions are for them. Stuff like that. You can message me over there and have full-on conversations with me. I would be glad to talk to any of y'all. Yeah, just follow me over there. It really would help me out. Also, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button because it really does help me out. Also, share it with all your friends, family, everyone that you know, and even people that you don't know. And hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.